My child, stop whatever you are doing right now and listen to me with your whole heart. Pause the task, still the scroll, quiet the argument inside your mind that says later, and give me your attention. Because this is not random, and it cannot wait another moment. I drew you here with cords of kindness you could not see, and I am speaking now because I love you too much to let you drift one more breath without knowing what I am doing on your behalf. Do not turn away. Do not negotiate this moment down to something ordinary. This is a sacred appointment with me. You are not here by accident. I place this before you at this exact moment because heaven has leaned low for you. The wheels of heaven have been set in motion. The attention of your Father has been turned openly toward your life, and I have aligned this word with the beat of your heart, with the hidden questions you have not dared to ask out loud. I am the one who gathered your sighs and counted your steps through rooms that felt empty. I am the one who knows the time on the clock you checked last night and the weight that sat on your chest before the morning came. Hear me. I arranged this encounter. I orchestrated the timing. I wrote your name across this invitation. I am not speaking to create fear in you. I am speaking to awaken you. I am speaking to rouse the part of you that has been sleeping under the blanket of survival, to call you forward into what is already moving in your favor. Even now, while you listen, the currents beneath your life are shifting. Even now, pressure is releasing where it once pressed you thin. Even now, I am turning your face gently toward me so you can see that I have been here in the silence, in the spaces where you thought I was absent. My child, I have set things in motion that you cannot yet see. Answers already dispatched, peace already approaching, a path already cleared where you assumed there was none. I am not late, I am precise. Stop for me and breathe. Inhale the assurance that you are not alone. Exhale the habit of bracing for the next blow. Be still and let the truth do its work. I am here, and I am for you. You do not have to perform for me to be worthy of this moment. You do not have to pretend that you are fine to be welcomed into my presence. Bring me your raw. Bring me your real. Bring me the parts that hide behind smiles and sarcasm. I am not fragile, and your pain does not scare me away. I am your Father, and I am speaking because your heart matters to me. I see the way you have been surviving quick reactions, walls built in a hurry, careful calculations to avoid new wounds, and I tell you this with tenderness and authority. The season of mere survival is closing. I will explain more. I will walk with you through it. But right now I need you to hear this first. I have come to interrupt the momentum of exhaustion. I have come to step into your present moment with my presence, to take the weight off your shoulders that you have called normal, to remind you that normal is not the same as holy, and I am restoring you to holy wholeness, one obedient breath at a time. I will not let you leave this moment unchanged. Listen closely, beloved. There is nothing you need to figure out in this second except yes. Yes to listening, yes to staying, yes to letting me lead. If you sense my voice in these words, agree with me in a simple act of faith, tap like so. This very invitation reaches the one who is ready to stop merely surviving. Share it with the friend who needs rest as much as you do. Subscribe to walk this healing journey with me in the days ahead, because I intend to keep speaking, guiding, and steadying you. These are not transactions to please me. They are signals of agreement that help what I am doing in you flow outward to those I am pursuing alongside you. I have taken hold of this moment, and I have taken hold of you. Do not hurry away. Let my peace settle like a warm weight across your shoulders. Let my voice be the loudest sound in the room. This is a divine interruption, written for you, arranged for now, and filled with the tenderness of a father who missed nothing, forgot nothing, and refuses to let you walk another step without hope. Be still. Stay with me. I am here, and we begin. My child, listen closely. This moment was written into your story before the wound ever had a chance to name you, long before the tear formed in the corner of your eye, long before you learned to hide your ache behind practiced smiles and quick distractions. I, the Lord your Father, inscribed this very pause into the scroll of your life. I saw the day you would be tired of pretending. I saw the night you would whisper, "Is anyone coming for me?" I saw the exact breath when your strength would waver and your guard would feel too heavy to carry another hour, and I scheduled the remedy. This is that remedy. This is the hour your heart brushes against the healing I appointed. Not later, not back then, but now, precisely now, because I am never careless with my timing, and I am never casual with your pain. Do not credit chance for what love arranged. The algorithm did not bring you here. I guided you. I directed your steps through 100 small choices you barely noticed. I tugged at your attention when you would have scrolled past. I let a sentence catch your breath. I aligned this moment with the subtle ache that has been pulling you away from yourself and from me, because your heart has been drifting farther than you know, and I love you too much to let you continue uncorrected. I am not saying this to shame you. I am saying it to save you. I am interrupting the drift with a current of mercy. I am arresting the distance with tenderness. I am calling you back to me, into alignment, into safety, into the quiet place where I rebuild what life has taken apart. Hear me. Every word you are about to hear has your name etched into it. This is not a general announcement lost in a crowd of voices. This is a letter sealed with my presence, addressed to the private room of your soul. I tailored these syllables to fit the contours of your story, to touch the very edges that sting when anyone gets too close. I know how to speak to the place you protect. I know how to lift the latch without violence. And I promise you, with the authority of my love, I will not let you leave this moment unchanged. Not because I demand a performance, but because I planned a transformation. Not because I desire to expose you, but because I desire to heal you. The outcome of this encounter is not uncertainty. It is restoration already in motion. Let this settle over you. You are standing inside an appointment that has been preparing for you as you have been preparing for it. When you could not see me moving, I was arranging the furniture of your future. When your hands were full of survival, mine were full of solutions you could not yet carry. When you asked, "Where are you?" I answered by writing today's date into the calendar of your becoming, and by placing this very word at the doorway of your attention. Not a moment before, because I honor your growth. Not a moment after, because I refuse to let the wound write one more chapter. Receive the precision of my love. Receive the care encoded into this hour. Receive the reality that while you have been busy trying to hold everything together, I have been busy preparing a gentler way to live. I want you to do something simple right now, beloved child. Allow your shoulders to loosen under the weight of my nearness. Let your breath lengthen. Let your jaw unclench. Let your hands, which have been curled into fists of self-protection, soften in the light of my guardianship. Agree with me in your heart. This moment is for me. That agreement is not a trick. It is a key. It opens the gate I have already unlocked. It lets the medicine reach the place that hurts. It gives you permission to stop outrunning what I can heal only when you are still enough to be touched. You do not have to analyze how this will work. You do not need a map to walk a path I am guiding under your feet. Your yes is enough to begin. I know the questions that flicker in the back of your mind. Why did it take so long? What if I hope and it breaks again? What if I open and no one stays? I know them because I heard them before they formed into words, and I place this moment like a warm hand over the cold place they created. I am not late, I am exact. I am not testing you, I am tending you. I am not setting a trap, I am setting a table. I have written an exchange into this encounter. The fear that has managed you will meet the love that will lead you. The wall that once protected you will meet the tenderness that will release you, and the voice of abandonment will meet the truth of belonging. You do not have to achieve this transformation. You only have to remain present while I perform it. So, do not rush away. Do not let the old reflexes steal this hour. If tears rise, let them. I collect every one. If memories surface, do not fear them. I am entering them with you. If your heart pounds as if about to run, tell it, we're staying. Angels are attending to this room you occupy, even if it is a crowded bus or a quiet corner. The courts of heaven have already recorded your name beside the word, healed. I have begun something no opposition can halt, because I authored it before time and I am finishing it in time. Receive this as my intentional, time-specific intervention for your healing. Mark it in your memory, the way a traveler marks the moment the landscape changes. This is the bend in the road where survival gives way to restoration. I am here, and I am guiding each word like a gentle river against the stones that have blocked your flow. Keep listening, keep breathing, keep letting me be the one who writes the next sentence. I wrote this moment into your story long before the wound, and now I am writing you beyond it. My child, listen to me. I have seen the hidden tears. I know the nights when you pressed your face into a pillow so no one would hear, when you slipped into a bathroom, turned on the water, and let your shoulders shake because you needed the sound of a faucet to mask the sound of your grief. I know the exact moment in the dark when the ache rose like a tide you couldn't control, and you wiped your cheeks quickly, training your eyes to clear before morning. I know the mornings you forced yourself to stand, when the alarm felt heavier than your limbs, when you rehearsed a smile in the mirror because the world needed you to be okay, and you could not find the space to be anything else. None of it was invisible to me. Not the smile you wore like a shield, not the silence you chose because explaining would cost more than you had to spare, not the sway of your breath when you tried to steady a heart that would not steady. I saw it all, my beloved. I kept count when you could not keep count anymore. I heard the prayers you whispered when words broke apart before they reached your lips. I heard the sentences that dissolved into sighs, the requests that came out as a single name, Jesus, and then nothing, just the quiet somewhere between hoping and numbness. Do not think your half-formed prayers were less because they were not tidy. Heaven does not weigh eloquence. I gathered your fragments as treasure. I collected your breaths like pearls and stored your tears where I store what is precious to me. In the courts of heaven, your cries were never misplaced. They were cataloged in love, marked urgent by mercy, and carried before my throne with tenderness you could not have imagined. Every shaky whisper, every ache you hid from those you love, every glance toward the ceiling in the middle of the night when you asked, "Do you see me?" I answered by drawing close, even when you could not feel it. I did not turn away from your trembling. I leaned in. You have been carrying things you were never meant to carry alone. You took responsibility for stability that was not yours to keep standing. You thought if you just held it tighter, it would stop breaking. You learned to read rooms like a weather vane, to adjust yourself so no one else would have to. You wore vigilance as if it were virtue, because survival taught you to anticipate danger before joy could take a seat. You became your own guard, your own medic, your own judge, your own rescuer. And still you wondered why your chest felt tight and your back ached with a weight you could not name. My child, that is not failure, that is fatigue. That is what happens when a heart designed to be guarded by me tries to be its own fortress. The walls kept some harm out, but they also kept help out. The armor protected your tender places for a season, but it began to pinch and bruise because it was never meant to be worn forever. I saw you choosing strength when what you needed was safety. I saw you hiding because you were afraid that if you showed the wound, someone would put salt in it and call it healing. I did not call that cowardice. I called it understandable, and I reserved a gentler way for you. Hear me. I am here to take the weight. Let your fingers release the straps of the pack you've carried through too many winters, the one full of old stories, assumptions, self-blame, and vows you made in rooms where no one noticed you bleeding. Hand it to me. There is no shame in letting your father carry what has been crushing you. I will not scold you for being tired. I will not demand you be cheerful while you are in pain. I am not the voice that told you tears are a weakness to be hidden. I am the one who designed tears to rinse what words cannot. So even now, if your eyes fill, let them. Each drop is an agreement with truth. I do not have to hold this alone anymore. As you release what you can name and even what you cannot, I will take it. As you breathe, say in your heart, "Here it is, Father." That is not a small act. It is a holy transfer. I want you to notice how carefully I have watched over the parts of you that others overlooked. The moments after gatherings, when you came home and felt the weight of emptiness settle like a winter coat, I sat with you in that chair. The drive where you looked fine to passing cars but gripped the steering wheel because the ache flared without warning, I held your hand steady. The times you found yourself in a conversation that felt like walking on shards and you smiled so no one else would be cut, I saw the way your feet bled inside your shoes. I did not look away. I did not ask you to be more than human. I pledged to be God with you, Emmanuel, in the ache you would never name out loud. Your invisible suffering has always been fully visible to me, and I have already been loving you in places you thought no love could reach. Do not confuse my patience with indifference. I waited to speak in this way because I cherish your heart, and I refuse to rip off what you glued together to survive without placing my hand under it first. I am not here to expose you. I am here to hold you. I am here to be the friend who knows where it hurts without you needing to justify it. I am here to be the father who says, "You do not have to be strong right now. You only have to be mine." Let that sentence land softly, but firmly. You only have to be mine. That is the ground you can stand on without forcing yourself upright by willpower every morning. That is the pillow you can rest on when the day is done and the bravest part of you is tired. I am your resting place. So, beloved child, in this very breath, let the hiding end. You do not need to vanish into the background of your own life to keep the peace. You do not need to apologize for needing tenderness. I wrote this moment to tell you that I saw what no one else saw. I heard what no one else heard. And I am here, hand extended, heart open, ready to carry what has been too heavy for too long. Trade me your burden for my nearness. Trade me your silence for my listening. Trade me your guarded nights for my watchful peace. You do not have to walk out of this room the same way you walked in. With me, you never walk alone again. Listen to me now, my beloved child, and let this sentence wash the ache from your questions. Every delay in your life has been a deliberate act of love, not neglect. I did not withhold to punish you. I withheld to protect you. I did not stay silent to abandon you. I hushed the noise so your inner roots could thicken without being torn by sudden winds. What you called nothing happening was me aligning outcomes with your healing, staging rooms so they would not swallow you, preparing the table so you would not sit among voices that would fracture you again. I would rather endure your misunderstanding for a moment than feed you something that would wound you for a lifetime. I would rather be accused of taking too long than be guilty of placing weight on you that would buckle your tender places. My love does not hurry you into rooms your heart is not ready to inhabit. You felt the shut door, and you judged yourself unworthy. You heard the silence, and you assumed I was uninterested. But child, the closed door was me standing guard, and the silence was me doing surgery on the inside where applause could not reach, where compliments could not touch, where comparisons could not contaminate. I was building capacity, not demanding performance. I was shaping a vessel that could carry blessing without cracking. I was teaching your nervous system to rest so favor would not feel like a threat, teaching your voice to trust my cadence so opportunity would not make you lose yourself trying to keep it. I was knitting patience into your muscles so the gift would not outrun your character, and I was placing peace at the foundation so growth would not be mistaken for worth. Consider the winter that made you wonder if the tree had died. Above the ground, nothing bloomed. Beneath the ground, everything deepened. Roots traveled where eyes could not go. Threads of life searched for deeper waters, and you called it delay. I called it anchoring. I let the frost linger not to freeze you out, but to free you from depending on constant flowering to believe you are alive. The absence of visible fruit was not the absence of my hand. It was the assurance that when the season shifted, the weight of fruit would not snap the branches. This is how I love you. I grow you sturdy before I grow you showy. I quiet you before I commission you. I settle your belonging before I set you among people who might not understand you. Waiting has been preparation for wholeness, not rejection. Hear me in the place where you once despaired. I withheld certain connections because your heart would have fastened itself to those who affirmed your wounds instead of your worth. I paused that promotion because it would have demanded a pace that would have re-injured what I am healing. I slowed the relationship that sparkled because it glittered over a chasm it could not hold. I did not let your name circulate in rooms that were not aligned with your becoming. I hid you like a seed, not like a mistake. I placed you in the soil of obscurity, not to suffocate you, but to saturate you, not to diminish you, but to develop you, so that when I planted you in the light, you would not wilt at every opinion or lunge for every crumb of approval that fell from careless hands. What looked like me ignoring your knocking was me oiling the hinges so the door would not shriek trauma when it opened. What felt like you pounding until your knuckles bled was me strengthening your hands, not to beg but to build. The door that ignored your knocking is about to open, and it will open in such a way that you will know you did not force it clean off its frame. I did. Not a moment before that would have cost you your peace, and not a moment after that would have cost you your courage. I am precise. I am the one who times sunrise and tide, and I have set the hour for your opening so the light meets your eyes at the angle of healing, not harm. Do not despise what took longer than you wished. Time inside my hands is not wasted, it is invested. I used the weight to loosen vows you made in lonely rooms, vows that said, I will never need anyone, vows that said, I must earn every good thing or it can be taken, vows that said, if I keep moving, Pain cannot catch me. I held you long enough in the quiet that those sentences lost their grip. I poured gentleness into the grooves where those lies used to sit, until you began to recognize the sound of my voice over the shout of your self-protection. Even when you did not feel spiritual, even when you did not feel strong, even when you felt numb, heaven was working. Angels were attending. Mercy was renovating your interior world, replacing the panic alarms with lullabies, unclenching your jaw so you could taste joy without suspicion. Blessing would have broken you then. Blessing will bless you now. And because I loved you, I let some opportunities pass you by while I taught you how to say a holy no so your yes would carry authority. I let you watch others move into places you desired, not to mock you, but to heal the belief that you are only valuable when you are visible. I trained your ears to hear me in the background, so that when crowds clap in the foreground, your heart stays anchored. I was not keeping you from your life. I was keeping your life from losing you. The future I am opening for you requires a steadiness you did not inherit from circumstance. You inherited it from me in the wait. Now listen closely. The doors that once felt unmoved by your knocking are about to respond to my key. Contracts that did not make sense before will suddenly feel like home. Conversations that stalled will find their language. Solutions that felt hidden will step into the light. What was waterlocked will part. What was jammed will glide. What was not yet will shift to now. And it will be obvious to you that this is not the product of relentless striving, but the fruit of surrendered timing. You will not need to prop it open with constant anxiety. I will hold it open with favor. You will not need to patrol it like a guard. I will station peace like a sentry at its threshold. Not a moment before, beloved, because I honor the slow work that made you whole, and not a moment after, because I refuse to let hesitation keep you circling deserts you were never meant to call home. So release the accusation you have held against time. Forgive the clock you have glared at as if it were your enemy. In your heart, say with me, Father, I receive your timing as kindness. That agreement unties knots you cannot see. That surrender turns the handle you could not budge. That trust lets me rush into the room with what I have been holding for you, not to overwhelm you, but to accompany you as you carry it with wisdom and rest. Let this certainty settle. I have been preparing you for the answer, as I prepared the answer for you. I did not forget you in the delay. I formed you in it. I am putting my hand on the calendar of your life and declaring a shift. The era of scrambling for scraps is over. The season of calling closed doors, a verdict is closing. You will look back and call this waiting what it truly was. A womb, not a tomb. A kiln, not a cage. A classroom, not a courtroom. You are not being sentenced, you are being sent. Breathe, beloved. Bless the wait that made you ready. Stay with me here. The handle is turning. The door is opening. Walk with me, not a step ahead and not a step behind, and watch how love, not luck, ushers you through at just the right time. My child, listen to me and take this in with the whole of your being. You have arrived at a sacred crossing point. The hour that required you to endure has served its purpose, and it is yielding to the hour that will restore you. The door I told you was turning has swung to a place where one step changes the landscape, and I am asking you to step, not with frantic strength, but with surrendered trust. Put your hand in mine. Feel how steady I am. This is the line where surviving hands over its old authority and healing takes the microphone. You are not walking away from your story. You are walking with me into the rest of it without the panic that once performed as your protector. Breathe now. Do it slowly, as if your chest has time again, because it does. Inhale, my nearness. Exhale the assumption that pain is your permanent address. Let your lungs release that sentence you wrote because you were trying to make sense of unkind seasons. This is just who I am now. No, beloved. Your name is not the one who copes forever. Your name is the one who is carried into peace. With every exhale, relinquish the mail you keep receiving from fear. The notifications from old patterns that say you must brace, you must scan, you must run, you must apologize for needing tenderness. Hand me the forwarding rights to your story, for I am changing the address of your heart from survival to sanctuary. Open your heart to me in this breath, even if opening feels like a risk. I am not here to pry your fingers apart. I am here to rest. My hand around yours until they soften. Survival taught you reflexes: duck, deflect, predict, perform, but I am replacing those with a rhythm of peace, You will not need to remember. It will remember you. The alarms that have lived under your ribs, the sirens that startle your thoughts awake at the hint of uncertainty, the habit of rehearsing worst-case scenes until you can barely taste joy. I am silencing them. Hear this with kindness toward yourself. Those reflexes saved you once, but they are not saving you now. They are stealing you. I am not scolding you for having them. I am honoring what they protected, and I am gently retiring them. My peace, not your vigilance, will be the new watchman at your walls. Do not stand at this threshold thinking you must leap a canyon. This is not a dare. This is a hand-in-hand crossing. 1 foot right there, where the floor changes before, into after. 1 step right here, where the air carries my presence like a warm cloak. Feel the difference. You do not have to scan every corner of the room anymore. I am already in every corner. You do not have to maintain a dozen exit strategies. I am your way through. You do not have to shrink to fit in shrinking places. I am widening the path beneath your feet. You have been instructed by pain to be small. I am instructing peace to grow you safely. Let me tell you what is happening as you agree in your heart. The tight coil in your chest is unwinding. The nervous system that braced for impact is meeting. My gentleness like warm water over cold knots. The sentences you told yourself to stay numb are losing their letters. Your body does not have to live like a battleground anymore. Your mind does not have to run sentry duty all night. I, the Lord your Father, am claiming jurisdiction over your interior world, and my rule is rest. My banner is love, and my way is steady. This is not denial of pain. This is denial of pain's right to be your leader. Let it be a witness, not a commander. Let it tell me where it hurts while you remain in my arms. Breathe again. With this exhale, release the myth that healing is a test you might fail. Healing in my presence is a relationship you can trust. You do not have to perform calm to receive peace. You receive peace, and calm will grow. You do not have to force forgiveness. You walk with me, and forgiveness finds its timing under my hand. You do not have to be perfect to be present. You be present, and I make you whole. Feel how that takes the pressure off the small muscles you forgot you had. Feel how that makes room behind your eyes for light to sit where fear once perched. Now, my beloved child, adjust your posture. Lift your head, not in defiance, but in dignity. Roll your shoulders back, not to carry more, but to carry less with me. Let your hands open, palms forward, not to surrender to harm, but to surrender to help. Whisper in your heart, if you cannot say it out loud, Father, I step with you. That is the step. That is the threshold. And as you do, I am anointing the doorway with peace so you do not trip over yesterday on your way into tomorrow. The echoes from old rooms may try to call you back, but listen for my voice, which is nearer than your memories and louder than their urgency. I am here, and I am leading. You may notice your reflex to look back, to take inventory of what might be left undone. Trust me, nothing that belongs to you will be lost in this crossing, and nothing that would injure you will make it through. I am the filter. I am the Father who stands in the threshold and decides what crosses with you. Shame does not get a passport. Condemnation has no visa. Hypervigilance is not on the guest list. But hope that dear friend you thought had moved away has been waiting at the new door with flowers. Peace is arranging your seat. Joy is learning your name again, this time without rush. This is the shift. Not a concept, but a corridor you are walking even now. You are stepping out of survival and into my healing presence. Keep breathing. Keep letting me do the heavy lifting while you do the holy agreeing. When the old instinct asks, what if we need the wall later? Answer it with what is truer. We have a Father, and He is our shelter. When the old story insists, pain is permanent, respond within. My embrace, love is more permanent still. And as you repeat that agreement in your heart, watch the ground beneath your feet become home, solid, peaceful, held. You have crossed, beloved. Stay with me on this side. My child, now that your feet have found this new floor, listen to me closely. I am dismantling the wall without breaking you. I will not rip at what your hands built in the dark to keep your heart alive. I will not shame the ingenuity that learned to survive storms by stacking stones into shelter. I honor what you built when you had no better tools than your own trembling. But hear me, what protected you then is imprisoning you now. And I love you too much to let a past strategy become a present cell. I am tenderly removing what kept you standing then, because I am standing with you now. Do you see these seams along the sentences that have wrapped your soul like tight fabric? Unworthy. Too much. Too late. Always the one left. Safer not to need. I send my scissors into the seams of every false sentence stitched into your soul. I slip the blade between thread and truth, not to cut you, but to cut what has been cutting you. Feel the gentle snip as I release unworthy from the lining of your identity. Hear the soft give as too much falls from your shoulders. Watch too late lose its knot and drop to the floor. I do not yank, I do not tear, I do not expose you to drafts while I work. I drape you in my presence like a warm garment, while each cruel seam is loosened by love. The wound was real, beloved. Do not gaslight your own history to be brave for me. I am not asking that of you. The wound was real, but the wound is not the wall, and the wall is not your foundation. I am your foundation. The pain taught you to stack bricks. The fear taught you to mortar them with vows. I will never trust. I will do it alone. I will not be surprised again. Those vows made the joint strong, but they also bricked in the light. I am not calling you foolish for building. I am calling you free. I am the bedrock beneath every season you could not read, the steady ground under the room where you learned to flinch, and I am inviting you to move your weight from the wall to me. See how I work, brick by brick, not by bulldozer. I slide my fingers under the first stone and ask your permission with my eyes. I press where it hurts, but never without, my hand beneath to catch what loosens. I steady the ceiling, while I remove the load-bearing lie so nothing collapses on you. I place angels as scaffold and peace as tarp. I time each lift with your breath, inhale, release, remove, so your body knows it is safe to soften. My child, I am careful. I am precise. I am patient with your tremors. I am not in a hurry that ignores humanity. I am God with you, and I will not break you to fix you. I will not shame your defenses. I will gently retire them, as my love proves safer than your fear. Where fear told you to double bolt the door, I install guardianship you do not have to guard. Where suspicion kept you awake as a sentry, I post peace at your gate. Where control gave you the illusion of safety, I gift you the reality of shelter. The wall taught you to expect abandonment. I am writing, belonging into the mortar of your mornings. The wall kept harm out for a time, but it kept help out too. My method is mercy. I knock softly. I speak your name until the lock recognizes my voice, and when you let me open even a small part, I widen it with kindness until daylight finds your eyes without blinding them. Listen to me. When you let me see you, I heal you. When you let me in, I restore you. You have thought visibility equals vulnerability equals violation, but with me, visibility equals visitation. When you turn your face toward me and stop rehearsing how to appear strong, I am not disappointed. I am delighted to be God where you are human. When you place the shard in my palm, the sharp memory, the jagged phrase that still slices from the inside, I do not flinch. I fold my hand around it and remove it like a surgeon who has waited for the right moment and the right light. I return to you, the tender place whole. You will feel the difference, not as a spectacle, but as a subtlety that grows bold. A thought that used to trigger armor now meets an open field. A voice that used to send you spiraling now sounds distant and dull. A room that used to make you small now expands to fit your true size. This is what happens when the wall comes down and the foundation holds. Your reflex to apologize for your presence gives way to gratitude for your being. Your instinct to pre-grieve joy so you won't be surprised by loss dissolves into the simple courage to be present where love is happening. I am reteaching your nervous system what normal feels like. The sound of peace, walking the hallway at night, the quiet of not needing to prove, the exhale that doesn't rush to inhale again. I am also dismantling the hidden braces, the secret vows, the private bargains, the unspoken contracts you signed with fear. I will be indispensable so I cannot be discarded. I will be quiet so I cannot be criticized. I will outrun pain so it cannot catch me. Those documents have reached their expiration date. Watch me lay them on my table and apply the fire of truth. They curl, they blacken, they turn to ash, and in their place I stamp a new decree with your name on it, beloved, carried, kept. Not a project, but a person. Not an emergency, but a home. As I remove each stone, I build in its place a living wall of yeses to love, yeses to boundaries, yeses to rest, yeses to laughter, without scanning the exits. The gate of your heart will not be left undefended. It will be wisely tended. You will not have to explain your worth to be allowed inside your own life. You will not have to hide tenderness as if it were a liability. My spirit will be the lamp in your window and the lock on your door. You will be safe to feel without drowning, safe to speak without shaking, safe to need without debt. Do not fear the rubble at your feet. I am clearing as I dismantle. Nothing that is you will be thrown out. I salvage the art that grew in confinement. I preserve the wisdom you earned in storms. I carry forward the compassion that bloomed when you bled. I only discard what cages you. The wall may groan as it loosens old creaks, old echoes, but its voice is losing jurisdiction. And in the space where it once stood, I am planting a garden memory turned into mercy, story turned into song, scar turned into signpost that points the way home for others. Your healing will not shout, it will shine. So stay with me in this work. When you feel the urge to brace, tell your heart, our Father is the brace. When you sense the itch to rebuild the brick I just removed, place your hand in mine and say, keep going. If a draft brushes your cheek where a stone once stood, that is not exposure, that is air. That is breath moving freely in a room that was suffocating. And if tears come while I cut away what once seemed sewn into you, let them fall. Each tear is water softening old glue. Each sob is a hammer that will not strike you, only the lie. I am not asking you to be fearless. I am asking you to be with me. This is how the wall comes down without you collapsing. My presence underneath, my hands around, my peace above, my truth within. I am not asking you to understand every step. I am asking you to agree. Yes, Lord, retire what I no longer need. Reveal who I truly am. And as you agree quietly, consistently, you will notice the horizon widening, the light changing angles, and your own name sounding right in your mouth at last. You will turn in a circle and realize there is no wall here, only a Father and a foundation that will not move. Now, my child, as the stones loosen and the air begins to move through places that once felt sealed, I will not leave the deepest ache untouched. I am not only removing what imprisoned you, I am placing my hand on what injured you. There is a wound beneath the wall, a place that learned to brace before you even knew you were bracing, a place that flinched when footsteps faded, a place that rehearsed goodbyes even in the middle of hellos. And I am speaking to that place now. I am putting my fingers on the ache that formed when love left too soon, when a voice that should have stayed went silent, when arms that should have held you were absent, when the comfort you needed never arrived at all. I have seen you carry that absence like a weight you could not name, and I have watched you become strong in ways you never wanted to have to be. But listen to me. You will not have to keep paying for what you did not choose. I know how abandonment writes itself into the body. It teaches you to tighten before you are touched, to smile while you are scanning, to offer more than you have so you won't be left, to become useful so you can feel safe, to shrink your needs so you won't be a burden, to go quiet so no one gets tired of you. It trained your heart to believe that comfort must be earned, that affection is temporary, that closeness is always followed by distance, that the safest love is the love you control. And even when you tried to outgrow it, even when you told yourself you were fine, it would rise like a cold wind at the smallest trigger, a delayed text, a changed tone, a closed door, a friend distracted, a season shifting, and suddenly you were 8 years old again, on the inside, or 17, or 24, standing in the same old hallway of waiting, trying not to need what you needed. My child, I know, I have always known, and I did not bring you this far to leave that wound as your narrator. So hear me clearly. I am the Father who does not leave. I am not like the love that disappeared without explanation. I am not like the hands that were inconsistent. I am not like the presence that made promises and then evaporated when it became inconvenient. I do not visit you and then vanish. I do not give you tenderness and then punish you for believing in it. I do not demand that you prove you are low maintenance before I will stay. I am constant and I am close, and I am not offended by your need. I am reparenting the places in you that learn to expect loss, and I am doing it with patience that does not roll its eyes, with gentleness that does not keep score, with faithfulness that does not threaten to withdraw when you are honest. Come here, beloved. Bring me that moment you still replay, the one you tried to edit so it wouldn't hurt as much. Bring me the chair that stayed empty. Bring me the birthday where you acted grateful while your throat burned. Bring me the relationship where you kept reaching and reaching until your arms ached and still you felt alone. Bring me the goodbye you never got to understand. Bring me the silence you were forced to interpret. Do not rush past it. Do not apologize for it. Do not spiritualize it into numbness. Let me stand with you there. Let me kneel beside the younger you who learned the wrong lesson, who learned, if I need, I will be left. Who learned, if I am honest, I will be rejected. Who learned, if I relax, I will be abandoned. I am rewriting that lesson, not with a lecture, but with my presence. Where abandonment wrote fear, I am writing belonging. You have been afraid that if you stop guarding, you will fall apart. You have been afraid that if you admit you want comfort, you will be punished for it, mocked for it, ignored for it. But I tell you now, my child, you will not be punished for needing comfort. You will be comforted. You will not be shamed for longing to be held. You will be held by me in ways that steady your breath and soften your jaw and unclench the fist you didn't realize you were making with your heart. You will not be reprimanded for wanting reassurance. You will receive it again and again until your nervous system learns that safety is not a trick. I am not testing you by withholding love. I am healing you by giving it consistently. And as I touch this wound, you may feel tears you tried to lock away, grief you postponed because life kept moving, anger you didn't think you were allowed to have, questions you swallowed because no one answered them. Let it come. I am not fragile. Your emotions will not scare me off. Your ache will not exhaust me. Your need will not make me step back. I stay. When you tremble, I stay. When you remember, I stay. When you finally confess, I did not feel chosen. I did not feel kept. I did not feel safe. I do not argue with you. I wrap you. I lay my hand on the abandonment wound like oil on bruised skin, like warmth on cold hands, like light in a room that has been dim for too long. Now listen to the new sentence. I am writing inside you, slow and steady, until it becomes your native language. You belong, not when you perform, not when you are useful, not when you are flawless. You belong because you are mine. You are not an afterthought. You are not a second option. You are not the one who must chase love down the street. Love is coming toward you, and it has. My face. You are safe to be cared for. You are safe to receive. You are safe to rest in the constancy of a father who does not disappear. So when the old fear rises and says, "Don't get too close, you'll be left," answer it with my truth. The Lord is with me, and He stays. When the old reflex whispers, "Don't ask for comfort, you'll be a burden," answer it with, "My heart, my Father delights to comfort me." When the old memory tries to crown itself as prophecy and says, "This will end like the others," answer it with the belonging I am writing now. I am not abandoned. I am held. I am kept. I am home. And as you say it quietly, sincerely feel how fear begins to lose its authority, not because your past didn't happen, but because your future now has a faithful Father in it. I am here, my child. I am touching the place that hurt, and I am staying long enough for it to heal. Now, my child, because I am staying, you do not have to keep standing at the window of your life like a watchman who never sleeps. You have been hypervigilant because you had to be. You had to read faces, monitor silence, measure tone, anticipate shifts, predict storms before they formed, because you learned that surprise often meant pain. I am not judging that part of you. I am honoring the way you survived when you did not feel covered. But hear me, that season is ending. The guard you became does not have to be your identity anymore. You can lower your shoulders. You can unclench your jaw. You can stop scanning every room for the moment you might be left. I am vigilant for you now. My eyes do not blink. My hand does not slip. My love does not take breaks. And my guardianship over you is sure. I know you have called it being realistic, but I tell you the truth. Much of what you have been carrying is not realism. It is fear trying to disguise itself as wisdom. It is panic wearing a thoughtful face. It is anxiety pretending to be preparation. You have been rehearsing worst-case outcomes, as if rehearsal could prevent heartbreak, as if forecasting loss could soften the blow when it arrives. My child, you were not created to live in constant rehearsal for pain. You were created to live in communion with me. There is a difference between discernment and dread, and I am teaching your spirit to feel it again. Dread is loud, urgent, rushed, demanding immediate control. Discernment is clear, steady, anchored, and it draws you nearer to me. Panic pushes you to grasp. My prompting leads you to rest and obey. So listen closely, because I am restoring trust in a way that does not shame you for how you lost it. Trust is not rebuilt by forcing yourself to be fine. Trust is rebuilt by learning my voice again, learning my pace again, learning how my peace feels in your body. I am placing my peace inside you like an umpire, yes. My peace will call what is safe and what is not, what is mine and what is merely noise. When a thought storms in and says, something bad is coming, brace yourself, ask it, does this lead me to prayer and clarity, or does it lead me to spiraling and self-protection? When a feeling rises and says, run, withdraw, shut down, ask it, is this the wisdom of my spirit or the echo of an old wound? I am not asking you to never feel fear. I am teaching you to not let fear be your compass. There will be moments, beloved, when your body reacts before your spirit has words, when your chest tightens and your mind starts building escape plans, when your hands reach for control like they used to reach for air. In that moment, do not condemn yourself. Do not say, I'm failing. Say, Father, be the watchman for me. And let that be your turning. Let that be your new reflex. You have had a reflex to brace. I am giving you a reflex to abide. Breathe and invite me into the reaction itself. Tell me the truth. This feels familiar. This feels like the old hallway. This feels like the old abandonment. And I will answer you, not with impatience, but with presence. I am here. This is not that. You are not alone. You are guided. Because I am guiding you now, you can release the exhausting need to predict every outcome. You have been trying to be everywhere at once, mentally and tomorrow, emotionally and yesterday, physically and today, because you thought if you could just calculate enough, you could finally feel safe. But safety is not found in prediction. Safety is found in my care. I am already in your tomorrow, my child. I am already in the conversation you are worried about. I am already in the room you haven't entered yet. I am already in the decision you keep turning over and over like a stone in your hand. You do not have to time travel with anxiety to prepare the future. I am the Lord of your future, and I am kind. You are not walking toward an empty place. You are walking toward a place where I have already been working. And I know how hard this is for you, because guarding has felt like love to you. Guarding has felt like responsibility. Guarding has felt like the way you keep yourself from being hurt again. But I am not asking you to drop your guard and become careless. I am asking you to drop your guard and become guided. There is a holy difference. Guided means you are still wise, but you are not tense. Guided means you can set boundaries without building prisons. Guided means you can say no without fear. Yes, without suspicion, and maybe without torment. Guided means you can walk forward without needing to control every step. Your life does not have to be led by alarms anymore. It can be led by my hand. So let me give you a simple way to recognize me when you feel pulled in 10 directions. My voice will not compete with chaos. My voice will not flatter your panic. My voice will not rush you into decisions you have not prayed through. My voice will often come as a steady invitation. Come closer. Slow down. Trust me. Take the next right step. And when it is me, even if the instruction is challenging, there will be a quiet underneath it that holds you. Panic always demands that you solve everything right now. I often ask you for one step, one breath, one act of obedience, one honest conversation, one boundary, one surrender. Panic says, what if? And then multiplies shadows. I say, I am, and I bring light. My child, you have been guarded because you were afraid that if you weren't, no one would be. But I am telling you, with authority and tenderness, I have you. I have you when the tone shifts. I have you when plans change. I have you when people are inconsistent. I have you when you don't understand what is happening. You are not held together by your vigilance. You are held together by my faithfulness. And as that truth sinks deeper than your reflexes, you will notice it. You will catch yourself before you spiral. You will pause instead of pounce. You will pray instead of plot. You will rest instead of rehearse. You will feel a disturbance, and instead of immediately building a wall, you will look for my hand and take it. Trust, for you, will begin to look like this. Not a sudden leap, but a daily lowering of the shoulders. A daily decision to let me interpret the moment. a daily choice to stop making fear your advisor. When you don't know what to do, you will not punish yourself with overthinking. You will come to me. When you feel exposed, you will not scramble to control. You will abide under my covering. When you are tempted to read silence as rejection, you will ask me for truth, and I will give it. I am restoring your trust the way a good father restores strength to a tired child, steadily, consistently, safely, until you realize one day that you are walking through a situation that used to break you, and you are not breaking. You are listening. You are steady. You are led. So lower your guard, beloved, not because the world suddenly became gentle, but because I am your guardian. Not because nothing can ever hurt you, but because nothing can separate you from my care. Not because you can control every outcome, but because you can trust the one who holds every outcome. Let my peace umpire your heart. Let my presence be your early warning and your steady shelter. And when you feel the old urge to grip tomorrow with white knuckles, open your hand and place it in mine and say, Father, guide me. I will. I am. And I will not lead you into harm. I will lead you into wholeness. And now, my child, because you are learning to be guided instead of guarded, I am going deeper into the names you have been calling yourself when no one else can hear. Not the name on your documents, not the name people speak when they want something from you, but the secret labels you wear under your smile like hidden tags pressed against your skin. Bring them to me. Bring me the word broken that you have whispered over yourself when you couldn't fix what hurt. Bring me burden, the lie that made you feel guilty for having needs. Bring me mistake, the sentence you accepted because someone blamed you for what was not yours. Bring me too late, the fear that time has outrun you and you missed your window. Bring me every title you inherited from abandonment, every nickname fear gave you, every diagnosis the enemy tried to turn into destiny. Do not protect those labels. Do not defend them as if they have earned the right to stay. Place them in my hands, my beloved, and watch what I do. I strip them off you now. I do not peel them away harshly. I remove them the way a father removes a thorn from a child's finger, steady, precise, and with my face close to yours, so you do not panic. I lift broken from your chest where it has sat like a stone, and I remind you, you were wounded, yes, but you are not ruined. I pull burden from your tongue where it has kept you apologizing for existing, and I tell you, your need is not an offense to me. It is an invitation for my care. I unfasten mistake from your mind where it has replayed old scenes like a courtroom, and I speak over you. You are not the sum of what happened to you, and you are not the sum of what you did while you were bleeding. I tear too late from the calendar you have been staring at in fear, and I declare, I am the Lord of time, and I am not limited by the years you think you lost. I restore years. I redeem days. I resurrect what you thought was finished. These labels have been clinging to you, but they do not belong to you. They are not your name. Listen to me, because I am not flattering you, and I am not giving you a temporary high to carry you through a hard week. I am naming you with truth. I am calling you what heaven calls you. I call you chosen not because you earned it, but because I set my love on you before you could perform. I call you whole not because you have never been hurt, but because I am the one who makes you integrated again, stitched together by grace, where life tried to split you apart. I call you steady not because you never tremble, but because my spirit is becoming your center, and storms are losing their power to knock you off your foundation. I call you beloved not as poetry, but as position. Beloved is not a compliment, it is your place in my heart. Beloved is not a mood, it is a covenant. Beloved is not something you audition for, it is something you receive because you are mine. You have lived too long letting your wound introduce you. You have walked into rooms and the first thing you felt was your history. What you lacked, what you lost, what you endured, what you fear will happen again. You have answered questions with half-truths because you were afraid the real you would be too much, too complicated, too tender. But I tell you now, your true name is not your wound. Your true name is not abandoned. Your true name is not overlooked. Your true name is not hard to love. Your true name is not always the one left. Those were experiences, not identities. Those were chapters, not titles. Those were attacks, not definitions. And I am not allowing your pain to keep speaking as if it is your pastor, your prophet, your parent. I silence that false voice, and I replace it with mine. Come closer and let me do what you could not do for yourself. Let me separate who you are from what happened. You have been treating your story like a disqualification, as if the messy parts mean you cannot be trusted, cannot be used, cannot be loved deeply, cannot live freely. You have looked at your past and said, because of this, I am less. But I am rewriting the meaning of your story. I am not asking you to pretend it didn't hurt. I am telling you, it will not own you. I am taking what tried to shame you and turning it into a testimony of my keeping. I am taking what tried to break you and making it evidence that I carried you. I am taking what tried to label you and using it as the very place where my redemption becomes unmistakable. Stop treating your story like a disqualification and start seeing it as a qualification sealed by redemption. The fact that you are still here is not an accident. It is proof that my hand has been on you. The fact that you survived what should have swallowed you is not mere resilience. It is my mercy sustaining you. And the fact that you are hearing me now is not coincidence. It is the moment I am restoring you from the inside out. So I am giving you a holy exchange. Give me the names that were spoken over you in anger. Give me the names that were implied by neglect. Give me the names you repeated in private when you felt unworthy of love. Give me the identity you built out of coping, the strong one, the easy one, the one who doesn't need, the one who keeps everyone else okay. Those are roles you played to survive, but they are not your inheritance. And in exchange, receive what I say. Receive kept. Receive carried. Receive called. Receive restored. Receive safe to be seen. Receive safe to be loved. And when the old label tries to crawl back onto you like a shadow returning at dusk, do not negotiate with it. Do not entertain it. Speak my truth over it and watch it shrink. Say it with me, my child, even if your voice shakes. I am not what happened to me. I am not what they failed to give me. I am not what fear predicted. I am who God calls me. I am chosen. I am beloved. I am being restored. I am becoming whole. Let these words be more than sounds. Let them be agreements. Because what you agree with shapes what you grow into. And I am not growing a life in you that is built on shame. I am growing a life in you that is built on truth. I am teaching you to answer the world and to answer your own mind from the healed place I am leading you into. My beloved, you are not merely surviving anymore. Survival taught you to wear armor, but healing will teach you to wear your true name. And your true name is not your wound. Your true name is beloved and restored. Hold it in your mouth until it feels familiar. Carry it through your day until it feels natural. Return to it when you are tempted to shrink. I am calling you out of the old introduction and into the new identity, and I will not stop speaking it over you until you stop arguing and start believing that I mean it. Now, my child, because I have given you your name again, I will also give you your rhythm. For many of you, survival was not only what you believed, it was how you moved. Quick, tight, always on, always listening for the next problem, the next tone, the next demand. And you have thought healing would arrive like a sudden lightning strike that makes everything easy overnight. But listen to me. Healing deepens through simple, repeated agreements with my peace. Not grand gestures you cannot sustain, not vows you make in a moment of emotion and break in a moment of pressure, but small daily choices that tell your nervous system, tell your mind, tell your spirit, we are safe now, we are held now, we are guided now. This is how I teach you to live as the healed version of you, one gentle agreement at a time. Walk with me in the small things. When you wake, do not immediately hand your first thoughts to fear. Do not reach for the noise, as if noise can protect you. Give me the first breath. Let it be a prayer without striving. Inhale and whisper, Father, I am here. Exhale and whisper, Father, you are here. Again, slowly, I receive your peace. Again, I release what I cannot control. My child, this is not performance. This is communion. This is you training your heart to return to me before it runs to the old alarms. Some days you will only have strength for one sentence. Then let one sentence be holy. Let one sentence be enough. A breath prayer offered in sincerity is stronger than 1,000 frantic plans. And I am inviting you into unhurried mornings not because your schedule suddenly becomes perfect, but because I am teaching you to stop living as if you are always late to your own life. Even if it is 10 minutes, even if it is while the house is still, even if it is before you speak to anyone else, sit with me. Open your hands and let your shoulders drop. Tell me the truth before you tell the world a polished version. Say, this is what I'm carrying. Say, this is where I feel tender. Say, this is what I'm afraid will happen. And then let me answer you with quiet, steady love. You have been waking up and bracing as if every day is a battlefield. I am teaching you to wake up and abide as if every day is a garden I will tend with you. You will still face responsibilities, yes, but you will not face them alone, and you will not face them from the place of panic. Bring me your thoughts in honest journaling before me, not to impress me, not to sound spiritual, but to become truthful. Put the swirl on the page so it does not keep spinning inside your chest. Name what you feel without shame. Name what you need without apology. Write the questions you have been afraid to say out loud, and as you do, invite me into it. Father, where is the lie in this thought? Father, what is the truth you are speaking? Father, show me where fear is steering me. My child, when you stop hiding from your own heart, you make room for my light to reach it. When you bring confusion into my presence, confusion loses its power to intimidate you. I am not afraid of your honesty. I heal best where you are most real. And hear me closely now, because this is part of your healing that you have overlooked. Honor your body. You have treated your body like a machine that must keep producing, or like an enemy that must be punished into compliance, or like an afterthought you only notice when it finally collapses. But I formed you spirit, soul, and body, and I am teaching you to worship me with wholeness, not with burnout. Sleep is not weakness, my child. Rest is not laziness. Rest is trust. When you choose to sleep, you are not falling behind. You are agreeing with the truth that I do not need you frantic to keep you safe. Nourishment is not indulgence, it is stewardship. Movement is not penance, it is gratitude. I want you to care for what I have carried you in. Let your body learn that it is not only a place where pain happened, it can become a place where peace lives. So stop punishing yourself for having limits. Stop treating your hunger like an inconvenience and your fatigue like a failure. I am not impressed by how long you can go without water, without food, without rest, without joy. I am not asking you to prove your worth through depletion. I am teaching you to listen to the signals I built into you, to the way your breath shortens when anxiety rises, to the way your shoulders harden when you feel unsafe, to the way your stomach tightens when you are carrying what is not yours. Pay attention, not with fear, but with compassion. This is not you becoming fragile. This is you becoming wise. This is you learning the language of peace in your own body. And because I am healing you, I am also giving you permission to draw gentle boundaries. You have thought boundaries mean you are unloving, mean you are difficult, mean you are selfish. But peace is the fence that keeps your heart tended. A garden without a fence is not more spiritual. It is simply unprotected. My child, your yes is holy, and your no can be holy too. You do not have to answer every call. You do not have to absorb every mood. You do not have to rescue every situation. You do not have to stay in conversations that drain the life out of you. You do not have to explain yourself to people who benefit from you having none. I am teaching you to protect your healing without becoming hard. This is what maturity looks like. Softness with structure, compassion with wisdom, openness with discernment. So ask me for the boundaries that fit this new season. Some boundaries will be with people, some will be with patterns, some will be with your own mind. You will say, I will not rehearse worst-case scenarios in bed at night. You will say, I will not scroll until my peace is gone. You will say, I will not commit out of guilt. You will say, I will not keep access open to what keeps reopening the wound. And when you hold those boundaries, do not hold them with anger, hold them with peace. Peace is not passive, my child. Peace is powerful. Peace is the strength to choose what keeps you whole. These are the simple rhythms, breath prayers that bring you back to me, unhurried moments that break agreement with urgency, honest journaling that pulls lies into the light, care for your body as worship, boundaries as a fence around what I am growing. Do not despise the smallness of these steps. The smallest agreements, repeated daily, become a doorway. The smallest choices, made consistently, become a new life. And as you practice these rhythms, you will notice something holy. You will begin to recognize yourself again, not the braced version, not the numb version, not the over-functioning version, but the you who can breathe, the you who can feel, the you who can rest, the you who can trust me with the next moment. Come, my beloved, let healing be gentle, let healing be daily, let healing be practical. And when you forget, when you slip back into rushing and gripping and scanning, do not condemn yourself. Return. One breath, one prayer, one honest sentence, one act of care, one boundary held. This is how we walk. This is how you become whole. This is how my peace becomes your practice, and your practice becomes your new way of living. Now, my beloved, because you have begun to practice peace instead of panic, because you have begun to return instead of condemn yourself, I am going to show you something. Do not rush past this. Do not analyze it until it goes cold. This is not entertainment. This is an unveiling. This is me letting you meet the version of you that healing has been shaping quietly, even while you thought you were still the same. My child, you have been so used to measuring progress by whether the pain is gone in one day that you miss the holy evidence of change. The way you recover faster, the way you breathe sooner, the way you pause before you spiral, the way you choose truth when your mind offers you old scripts. So come closer now, and let me guide your imagination the way I guide your steps. Close your eyes for a moment, if you can, and if you cannot close them, then soften your focus and turn inward. Breathe, slowly. Let your shoulders drop as if you are setting down a heavy bag you carried for years. And in this quiet, I want you to see yourself, not the you who braces, not the you who apologizes for existing, not the you who enters every room scanning for danger. See the you who is no longer ruled by trauma. See the you who is healed enough to be present. Watch how that version of you breathes. There is space in their chest. There is air in their lungs. There is no frantic grabbing for control. Watch how they listen, without flinching, without preparing a defense before someone even speaks, without rehearsing how to escape. Watch how they speak clear, gentle, honest, without begging to be chosen, without performing to be kept. My child, notice it. They are not loud to prove they matter, and they are not silent because they feel unsafe. They are steady, they are anchored, they are free. Now look closer at the details, because healing is not only a feeling, it is a posture. Look at their shoulders lowered, not because life became easy, but because they learned they are carried. Look at their jaw unclenched, not because they never face pressure, but because they are no longer swallowing fear as daily bread. Look at their eyes bright, awake, not haunted by the past, not dimmed by disappointment, not darting around for the next threat. Their face is not hardened. Their heart is not shut. They are soft without being fragile. They are open without being naive. They move without hurry, because they are no longer running from yesterday or chasing validation in tomorrow. There is an absence of rush on them, and that absence is not laziness. It is trust made visible. You have lived so long, as if urgency was wisdom. But look at this healed you. They are not late to their life anymore. They are present in it. And now, my beloved, I want you to ask 2 questions, not as an interview, not as a test, but as a sacred conversation with me. Ask, what did I release to become this me? And as you ask it, do not let shame answer you. Do not let fear answer you. Let me answer you. And I say to you, you released the false responsibility of fixing everything alone. You released the vow you made in pain that said, I will never need anyone again. You released the belief that love must be earned through over-functioning. You released the habit of calling anxiety discernment and calling dread preparation. You released the need to rehearse heartbreak to feel safe. You released the old introductions. I'm too much. I'm not enough. I'm always the one left. And you stopped letting abandonment narrate your worth. You released access to what kept reopening the wound. You released the addiction to chaos, the familiarity of stress, the comfort of bracing. You did not release them all in one dramatic moment. You released them in daily agreements, one breath, one boundary, one prayer, one honest sentence at a time, and heaven honored every single one. Then ask the second question. What grace carried me here? And again, my child, do not let your mind reduce grace to an idea. Let grace be personal. Let grace have a voice. Let grace answer you with my tone. And I say, my grace carried you when you could not name what hurt. My grace covered you when you smiled while bleeding. My grace held you through nights when sleep would not come, and mornings when you still had to stand. My grace gave you strength to survive. And then my grace came gently and said, now you are allowed to heal. My grace brought people, words, timing, and sacred interruptions. My grace taught your body that it does not have to live in constant alarm. My grace kept you from doors that would have reopened old cycles. My grace stayed when others left. My grace did not shame you for the pace of your process. My grace did not grow impatient with your tenderness. My grace has been with you in the unseen places, doing quiet work that you will only fully understand later. You think you arrived here by your own strength, but I tell you the truth. You arrived here because I have been faithful. Now, my beloved, I want you to do something that will feel simple, but it is powerful. In your spirit, take a step toward that healed version of you. Walk toward them. Do not stand far away as if wholeness is for other people. Do not admire it like a picture you can never touch. Walk toward it, because it is not fantasy. It is the future I am unveiling. And as you move, notice what happens inside you. Something in you will recognize them. Something in you will whisper, "That's me." Not because you are pretending, not because you are ignoring reality, but because I placed seeds of that person inside you before you ever learned to brace. That healed you is not a stranger. It is your original design resurfacing. It is your heart remembering how it was meant to beat. It is your mind remembering how it was meant to rest. It is your spirit remembering how it was meant to trust. Let that healed you turn and look at you. Look at their expression. There is no disgust there. There is no impatience there. They are not ashamed of the version of you that survived. They honor what you endured, and they are grateful you kept going long enough to arrive at this threshold. And I want you to hear what I am saying. You do not have to hate your past self to become your healed self. You do not have to punish yourself for what you did in survival mode. You do not have to speak to yourself with violence to make yourself change. I am leading you with kindness, because kindness is how I bring you home. So, take another step, and another, and as you come close, let me speak this over you with authority and tenderness. You are already moving toward the healed version of you I am revealing, even now. Even if you still have moments where your chest tightens, even if you still have days where the old fear knocks on the door, progress is not the absence of struggle. Progress is the presence of me in the struggle, and I am present. I am not standing at the finish line with crossed arms. I am walking beside you, coaching your breath, steadying your heart, strengthening your boundaries, rewriting your inner language. The healed you is not waiting in some distant year when everything magically becomes easy. The healed you is being formed in your choices today when you pause, when you pray, when you tell the truth, when you rest, when you release, when you return. Now open your eyes, my beloved, and do not let what you saw fade like a dream. Carry it like a promise. Carry it like a map. And when the old voice says, "You'll never change," answer it with, "My truth. God is healing me, and I am becoming whole." When the old fear says, "You'll always be stuck," answer it with, "My certainty. I am already moving." When the old shame says, "You don't deserve a new life," answer it with, "My grace. I am not earning this. I am receiving it." Because this is the holy reality. I am not only mending you, I am introducing you to you. And you will not merely meet that healed version one day, you will walk as them, steadily, surely, as I lead you forward, from surviving into healing, from healing into wholeness, from wholeness into a life that finally feels like home. Now, my beloved, do not let the healed you remain only an image you visited for a moment. Do not let that holy unveiling fade under the noise of your day. Bring it into your mouth. Bring it into your thoughts. Bring it into your body. Because I tell you the truth, what you agree with shapes what you grow into. The words you repeat in secret become the architecture of your inner world. The sentences you allow to live in you will either keep you braced, or they will begin to make room for peace. And I did not bring you this far to let old fear keep narrating your future. So listen closely and repeat after me, not as a ritual, not as a performance, but as alignment, spirit, soul, and body coming into agreement with my healing. Say it slowly, my child, even if your voice trembles, even if your mind tries to argue, even if your past tries to interrupt. I am not my past. I am God's beloved, being made whole. Again, with breath and faith, I am not my past. I am God's beloved, being made whole. Let it sink beneath the surface where the old shame has lived. Let it touch the places that still expect to be left. Let it press gently against the parts of you that learn to hide. You are not signing a contract with your old story. You are signing your name beneath my promise. Now declare this. because I am training your mouth to speak like someone who is healing, not like someone who is still trapped. Say, peace governs my thoughts. My child, peace is not a mood you chase. Peace is a government I establish in you. Peace governs my thoughts over the racing mind, over the replaying memory, over the worst-case scenarios that used to feel like wisdom. Say it again, peace governs my thoughts. And now declare, love reorders my decisions. Not fear, not urgency. Not the need to prove, not the need to be chosen. Love reorders my decisions, love that is patient, love that is discerning, love that does not abandon you when you have needs. Say it again, love reorders my decisions. And now declare, hope sits at my table. Hope is not a visitor that comes only when everything is easy. Hope is a resident in the house I am rebuilding. Hope sits at my table when you eat, when you plan, when you speak, when you rest, when you begin again. Say it again, my beloved, hope sits at my table. And as you speak, I want you to notice what happens in you. The body that learned to brace begins to loosen. The chest that learned to tighten begins to make space. The mind that learned to scan begins to settle. This is not imagination alone. This is authority. Your words are not empty when they are joined to my truth. For too long, you have let pain preach to you every morning. For too long, you have let anxiety prophesy your ending. For too long, you have let abandonment write your expectations. But I am giving you a new confession, because I am giving you a new season. And you will not enter it by accident. You will enter it by agreement. So when the old thought returns and says, nothing will change, you will answer it with what you declared. Peace governs my thoughts. When the old pattern rises and says, decide from fear so you don't get hurt again, you will answer it. Love reorders my decisions. When the old heaviness sits down with you and tries to fill your table with dread, you will look it in the face and say, you do not live here anymore. Hope sits at my table. My child, you are not fighting with people. You are breaking agreement with lies. And every time you break agreement with a lie, you strengthen agreement with healing. And now, I am asking you for a faith step that makes your agreement visible. Do not be ashamed to testify of what I am doing in you. Do not wait until you feel perfect to speak with faith. If you are ready to welcome what I am forming, then make it public in the simple way you can, right now. Write these words as your agreement, as your yes, as your threshold step. I welcome the healed version of me. Write it, my beloved, not because I need proof, but because you need alignment. Because when you speak it, when you write it, when you declare it, you are telling your own heart, we are not going back. You are telling your own mind, we are not staying in survival. You are telling the unseen places in you, healing is not a distant idea, it is my present path with God. And I seal this in you with tenderness and authority. You are not merely surviving anymore. You are learning to speak like someone who is safe, someone who is kept, someone who is being restored. Keep these words close, my child. Put them on your lips in the morning. Put them over your thoughts at night. Put them over your body when it remembers old fear. What you agree with shapes what you grow into, so agree with healing now, and watch what I grow in you. Now, my beloved, because you have begun to speak life, because you have begun to break agreement with lies, there is one more door that has kept many of you standing in the hallway of healing, watching wholeness from a distance, wondering why your body still tenses, why your mind still replays, why your heart still braces when the memory walks into the room. Listen to me carefully. It is not because you have failed. It is because there is a hook still lodged in you, and I have come. Not to shame you for it, but to remove it with tenderness and power. This is the moment of forgiveness and release. Do not turn away from this because it feels unfair. Do not reject this because it feels like letting someone get away with it. My child, I am not asking you to pretend it didn't hurt. I am not asking you to call evil good. I am not asking you to approve what wounded you. I am asking you to evict the authority of what happened, so it cannot keep ruling your today. Hear me. Forgiveness is not approval of harm. Forgiveness is the end of harm's permission to live in your nervous system, to live in your thoughts, to live in your decisions, to live in your relationships, like an uninvited voice that keeps interrupting you. Forgiveness is you removing the crown from the one who hurt you. Forgiveness is you taking the pen away from the memory that keeps rewriting your future. Forgiveness is you saying, you will not define me, you will not direct me, You will not decide the shape of my love, the sound of my laughter, the pace of my peace. My beloved, some of you have been trying to heal while still gripping the wound like evidence, because you fear that if you let go, justice will disappear. But I tell you the truth, justice does not disappear when you release it into my hands. Justice becomes purified, justice becomes holy, justice becomes mine. So come closer, and let me guide you through a release that is real. I want you to bring the names, yes, the names you avoid, the names that still tighten your stomach, the names you do not speak because your heart immediately starts defending itself. Bring the moments too, the sentence that changed you, the betrayal that blindsided you, the abandonment that taught you to stop expecting care, the disappointment that made you say, I will never trust again. Bring the place where it happened. Bring the season where you lost yourself. Bring the version of you that didn't know what you know now. Do not carry it alone one more day. Place it into my hands, because my hands are not shaky. My hands are not unsure. My hands are not confused. My hands are steady enough to hold your story without breaking you. And now, my child, I want you to speak this release, slowly, honestly, even if tears come, even if your throat tightens, even if your mind protests. Say, I release them to God's justice, and I receive God's peace. Again, my beloved, I release them to God's justice, and I receive God's peace. This is not you saying, what they did was fine. This is you saying, what they did will not be my prison. This is you saying, I will not keep paying for what they did with my present joy. This is you saying, I will not let yesterday keep stealing tomorrow. Some of you have been collecting the pain like a file you review every night, not because you enjoy it, but because part of you believes that replay is protection, that bitterness is strength, that anger is a guard dog that will keep you safe. But listen to me, bitterness is not a guard dog, it is a chain. Replay is not wisdom, it is a loop, and the need to be your own defender has exhausted you more than you admit. So I am doing something holy in you right now. As you release, I release you. I release you from the weight of carrying a case you were never meant to prosecute with your own soul. I release you from the exhausting job of revisiting the scene again and again, hoping that if you think about it one more time, it will finally stop hurting. I release you from the need to craft the perfect explanation that would make them understand, because some of them will never understand, and you cannot keep delaying your healing until someone else becomes safe. I release you from the inner courtroom, where you have been both the witness and the judge and the one on trial. My child, that courtroom has been loud. That courtroom has been relentless. But I am the God who brings you into peace, not because truth is ignored, but because truth is finally held by the one who can carry it without poisoning you. And hear this, because this is the key you have been missing. Forgiveness unlocks the room where your healing has been waiting. There are parts of you that have been standing behind that locked door, your tenderness, your ability to receive, your softness, your joy, your hope, your trust waiting for permission to come out without being punished for it. And unforgiveness, even when it feels justified, has kept that door stuck because it keeps you tethered to the one who hurt you, keeps your emotional world revolving around a past season, keeps your energy tied to proving, defending, rehearsing, and bracing. But when you forgive, you do not set them on a throne, you remove them from your center. When you forgive, you do not erase the story. You stop living inside the worst chapter. When you forgive, you do not deny your pain. You refuse to let your pain become your identity. So I am asking you now for one more act of agreement. Open your hands where you are. If you cannot physically open them, then open them in your spirit. And whisper it again, with me, like a key turning. I release them to God's justice, and I receive God's peace. And now say this, because I am unhooking you. I am no longer bound to this. I am no longer ruled by this. I am no longer defined by this. My beloved, feel what happens when you stop clenching. There is grief, yes, but there is also space. There is mourning, yes, but there is also movement. There is truth, yes, but there is also freedom. This is not weakness. This is power under my hand. And I tell you what is happening in the unseen. I am cutting the cords. I am quieting the replay. I am draining the poison of resentment that tried to live in you like a second bloodstream. I am teaching your heart that it does not have to stay on guard to stay alive. because I, the Lord your God, am your defender. You do not have to be your own savior. You do not have to be your own shield. You do not have to carry the weight of making it right. Place it in my hands, and let my peace take its rightful place in you. Now breathe, my child. Let this be the exhale you have postponed for years. The past may still be a memory, but it will no longer be a master. The wound may still be a chapter, but it will no longer be the narrator. And as you walk forward from this moment, you will notice the door opening, the door to deeper healing, the door to new relationships without suspicion ruling you, the door to joy without guilt, the door to trust without terror. Forgive, not because harm deserves a reward, but because you deserve freedom, and I have appointed you for wholeness. Now, my beloved, because you have opened your hands, because you have released what you were never meant to carry, I will not leave you standing in the doorway of freedom without wisdom for the road ahead. Listen to me closely, because this is where many begin to heal and then quietly bleed again, not because they are weak, not because they are foolish, but because they step back into the same rooms, the same conversations, the same atmospheres that trained their nervous system to brace. My child, healing is not only what I do inside you, healing is also what I align around you. And I am speaking to you now about people and places for a new season, because new alignment sustains new wholeness. I am sending you safe people, yes, safe people who can hold your story without shrinking you, without turning your pain into gossip, without making you feel like you are too much, without requiring you to minimize the miracle I am doing in you so they can stay comfortable. I am sending you hearts that do not punish your honesty. I am sending you voices that do not pull you back into panic. I am sending you friends who do not need you to stay broken so they can feel needed. I am sending you counsel that does not compete with my peace. My beloved, you have lived too long feeling like you must be edited in order to be loved, like you must keep your wounds hidden in order to belong. But I am bringing you into relationships where you can be real and still be received, where you can be growing and still be honored, where you can be learning and still be safe. And hear me. Do not rush past this part as if it is optional. The enemy could not destroy you by what you endured, so he tried to keep you bound by what you normalize. He tried to convince you that chaos is just how life is, that disrespect is just how people are, that constant explaining is just what love requires. But I am retraining your discernment. I am teaching you the difference between familiarity and safety. I am teaching you the difference between attention and care. I am teaching you the difference between being surrounded and being supported. My child, not everyone who has access to you has permission for this season. So if I begin to close rooms, trust the closures. If conversations become impossible to maintain without you abandoning yourself, trust that I am not punishing you. I am protecting you. If a door shuts that you kept trying to hold open with your own hands, do not interpret it as rejection. Interpret it as rescue. Some of you have been grieving certain people, certain communities, certain patterns, because you can feel the distance growing, and you have been tempted to chase, to over-explain, to over-give, to re-enter the old role so you can keep the old connection. But I say to you, my beloved, do not run back to what I am delivering you from. Do not rebuild what I am dismantling. Do not call it loyalty when it is actually fear of being alone. I can fill the space that obedience creates. I can meet you in the quiet that boundaries produce, and I can bring you into rooms where you do not have to bleed to belong. You are not losing your life. You are losing what kept you from living it. You are not being abandoned. You are being reassigned. You are not being pushed out. You are being led forward. Some rooms only knew the surviving you, the you who laughed to cover pain, the you who stayed silent to keep peace, the you who overfunctioned to avoid being left, the you who carried everyone else so no one would look closely at your own emptiness. But that version of you is not the ruler of this season anymore. And when you stop performing survival, certain connections will naturally loosen. Let them. You do not have to make it ugly. You do not have to make it dramatic. You only have to make it true. Now I am giving you a measure for discernment, simple but powerful. Seek counsel that strengthens peace, not noise that entertains pain. There are voices that feel familiar because they keep your nervous system activated. There are conversations that feel deep because they rehearse the wound again and again without moving you toward healing. There are spaces that feel like home because you learn to live in vigilance. But my child, I am not calling you into a season of emotional performance. I am calling you into a season of steadiness. So ask yourself, and let me answer you. After I leave this person, do I feel clearer or more confused? After I leave this place, do I feel anchored or agitated? After I receive this advice, do I feel invited into faith or pulled back into fear? I am not asking you to isolate. I am asking you to align. And I know, my beloved, that some of you are afraid of choosing differently because you have been wounded by people before. You have been disappointed. You have been misunderstood. You have been left. And part of you wants to say, if I keep everyone at a distance, I cannot be hurt again. But listen to me. I am not healing you to make you hard. I am healing you to make you whole. And wholeness does not require you to trust everyone. It requires you to trust me enough to follow my leading. I will show you who is safe. I will highlight who is mature. I will reveal who honors your boundaries without punishing you for them. And I will teach you how to recognize love that is clean, love that does not manipulate, love that does not demand you betray your own healing, love that does not make you pay for someone else's immaturity. So take this into your spirit as a holy instruction for this new season. Do not sit at tables that mock your peace. Do not keep company with voices that romanticize your anxiety. Do not keep returning to places that reopen wounds you have asked me to close. My child, you are not called to prove you are healed by surviving toxic environments with a smile. You are called to honor what I am restoring by living wisely. And where you cannot leave physically yet, I will teach you how to leave spiritually, how to set boundaries in your heart, how to limit access, how to stop oversharing with those who do not steward your story well, how to protect your tenderness like a seedling in a new garden. I am aligning you. I am arranging divine appointments not just with breakthroughs, but with people who speak life when you forget, with mentors who call you higher without shaming your pace, with friends who celebrate your boundaries, with communities where you are not used, not drained, not diminished. And as I do, you will feel the difference. Your shoulders will stay down, your breath will come easier, your mind will stop scanning for danger, your joy will return without you having to earn it. This is how you will know it is me. My peace will accompany my direction. So agree with me right now, my beloved. Whisper it if you can. Lord, align me. Close what must close. Open what must open. Lead me to what is safe. Lead me to what is true. And I tell you, with authority and with tenderness, I will. Because I did not bring you out of survival just to place you back into the same traps with a new vocabulary. I am giving you a new season, and I am giving you the wisdom to live it. New alignment will sustain your new wholeness, and you will look back and realize what felt like loss was actually my hand guiding you into peace. And now, my beloved, as I align you and as I teach you what is safe, I am not doing it only so you can feel better. I am doing it so you can finally live true. Listen closely, because many of you have misunderstood purpose, and that misunderstanding has exhausted you. You thought purpose would always feel like pressure. You thought calling would always feel like a deadline. You thought obedience would always feel like you must run faster than your own soul, prove more than your own healing, produce more than your own capacity. But I am speaking to you now to break that lie at the root. I did not heal you so you could become a more efficient version of your anxious self. I healed you so you could become whole, and from healed ground, purpose flows without panic. You are entering a season where assignment becomes overflow, not overwork. You will not have to earn your place by being endlessly available. You will not have to prove you are valuable by carrying what I never asked you to carry. You will not have to hustle to be seen, because I, the Lord your God, see you already. And hear me, I am not taking your fire. I am removing the frantic smoke that kept you choking. I am not silencing your dreams. I am cleansing them of the fear that told you, if you slow down, you will be left behind. My child, you are not behind. You are being led, and the pace of my leading will honor your soul. Some of you have been afraid that rest will make you miss your moment. So you keep moving even when your spirit is trembling. You keep saying yes even when your peace is saying no. You keep producing, explaining, fixing, saving, because somewhere deep inside, an old wound whispers, if you are not useful, you are not safe. But I am healing that false altar in you. You do not have to purchase belonging with performance. You do not have to purchase love with labor. You do not have to purchase security with exhaustion. I am your father, not your taskmaster. I do not measure you by your output. I form you by my presence. And I tell you the truth, when you live from rest, your life will become more fruitful than when you lived from relentless proving, because what I bless is not your panic, it is your obedience. So let me redefine purpose for you. Purpose is not you grinding until you collapse. Purpose is not you chasing approval with holy language. Purpose is you walking with me, listening, responding, and letting what I have healed in you become a river that blesses others without draining you. Yes, I will use your story, but I will not use it as a burden on your back. I will use it as balm in your hands. I will show you where the very places you once bled can become places where others breathe again. Not because you must relive your pain, not because you must keep reopening wounds to prove you are real, but because I will teach you how to serve from scars that have been touched by my peace. There are people I will place in your path who will recognize the gentleness I am growing in you. There are assignments I will entrust to you that will not require you to abandon yourself. There are conversations you will have where you will speak one sentence, and it will be medicine because it comes from a healed place, not from a desperate place. And you will marvel, my beloved, because you will realize that you used to do so much and feel so empty, but now you will do what I ask and feel filled. This is one of the signs that it is me. Your obedience will not leave you hollow, it will leave you anchored. Your yes will not be a panic response, it will be a peaceful alignment. And I am telling you now, so you stop equating speed with faith, that I will multiply obedience more than hustle. I can do more with one surrendered hour than you can do with a week of anxious striving. I can breathe on a small step and make it echo. I can anoint a simple offering and make it feed many. My child, you have been trained by survival to believe that if you are not doing the most, you are doing nothing. But I am retraining you by my Spirit to understand that faithfulness is not frenzy. Faithfulness is consistency with me. Faithfulness is choosing what is yours to carry and refusing what is not. Faithfulness is doing the next right thing I place in front of you without trying to control 10 steps ahead. So I am giving you permission, holy permission, to stop performing your calling. You do not need to announce it with noise. You do not need to rush to be validated. You do not need to compare your pace to someone else's race. I have written your days, and I have appointed your portion, and the door I open for you will not require you to trample your own healing to walk through it. I am not calling you into burnout. I am calling you into alignment. I am not calling you into obsession. I am calling you into stewardship. I am not calling you into a life where you are impressive but empty. I am calling you into a life where you are faithful and full. And listen, my beloved, because this is where many of you will feel the fear rise. When you begin to live from rest, you will have to let go of the identity that was built on struggle. You will have to stop introducing yourself through your wounds. You will have to stop using exhaustion as evidence that you are trying. But I will be with you as you release that old costume. I will teach you to wake up and ask, Father, what is mine today? And then to do it without apology, without delay, without self-hatred. And when it is done, I will teach you to stop, yes, to stop without guilt. Because rest is not laziness, rest is trust. Rest is you saying, God can sustain what God assigns. Some of you have been waiting for purpose to come like a storm, loud, forceful, urgent, because that is what your nervous system recognizes. But I am coming to you like peace. I am leading you like a shepherd. I am guiding you with clarity that does not scream. And as you follow, you will notice that your life begins to carry a different sound, less striving, less proving, less frantic reaching, more steadiness, more courage, more joy that is not borrowed from external applause, more compassion that does not cost you your own breath. So receive this now, my child, as a decree over your new season. You will express purpose from rest, not from relentless proving. You will work from wholeness, not for wholeness. You will serve from love, not from fear. You will give from overflow, not from emptiness. And I will show you step by step where your story becomes a shelter for others, where your voice becomes a light, where your hands become gentle and strong, where your presence becomes a testimony that healing is real. Do not be afraid of your calling, my beloved. I am not sending you back into survival with a new assignment. I am sending you forward as the healed you guided, kept, and at peace. Now, my beloved, come closer. because I am not only speaking about healing, I am placing my hand upon it. Do not rush past this moment. Do not stay in your thoughts and miss my touch. Let your shoulders drop. Let your jaw unclench. Let your breathing slow. I am here, and I am not far from you. I am the Lord your God, and my presence is touching the exact places that ache, even now. So I lay my hand upon your mind, the place where you have been overthinking, replaying, scanning, trying to predict what could go wrong so you will not be hurt again. The place where worry has sounded like wisdom and anxiety has masqueraded as preparation. My child, be still and know that I am God. Be still in the part of you that has not been still in years. Be still in the part of you that has had to stay alert to survive. Be still, not because nothing matters, but because I matter most. And I speak to the storm of your thoughts. Quiet. I speak to the noise you have carried. Hush. I speak to the accusations and the self-judgment and the old sentences stitched into your mind. You will not rule here anymore. I am giving you a clear mind. I am giving you a steady mind. I am giving you permission to rest without fear, that resting will cost you everything. And now I speak to your nervous system, my beloved, the part of you that has been trained by abandonment to brace, trained by disappointment to flinch, trained by betrayal to hold your breath even in good moments. You have called it just how I am, but I tell you the truth. It is not your identity, it is your body remembering what hurt you, and I am not intimidated by that memory. I speak to the trembling under your skin. I speak to the tightness in your chest. I speak to the tension in your stomach. I speak to the racing heartbeat and the shallow breath and the sudden panic that rises when you least expect it. Peace be unto you. Peace in your body. Peace in your bones. Peace in the places no one sees but you feel every day. My child, you are safe with me. You do not have to earn safety. You do not have to perform to keep it. You do not have to stay on guard to stay alive. I am your guardian. I am your keeper. I am your shelter. Let your body learn my voice again. Let your breath become a yes. Let your exhale become trust. And now, my beloved, I breathe upon your memories. Not the ones you show people, but the ones that still sting when you are alone, the moments you minimized, the conversations you replay, the day you realized you could not depend on what you thought would hold you, the season you stopped expecting tenderness because it seemed safer to expect nothing. I am not asking you to pretend it did not happen. I am not asking you to call it small. I am bringing my healing into it without breaking you. I breathe upon the images that have haunted you. I breathe upon the sentences that changed the way you saw yourself. I breathe upon the places where shame tried to brand you. And where there is sting, I pour oil and wine. Where there is infection, I cleanse. Where there is bruising, I soothe. Where there is a wound that kept reopening, I close it with my own mercy. I do not rip you open to heal you. I hold you while I heal you. I do not rush you. I restore you. My child, some of you have been afraid that if you let me touch that memory, you will fall apart. But listen to me. You will not fall apart in my hands. You will come together. You will come back to yourself. You will stop living as scattered pieces, trying to function while bleeding quietly. I am gathering you. I am knitting you. I am returning you to wholeness, gently, truly, completely. And I am teaching your heart a new association. The past is not a predator in the room anymore, because I am here, and I am greater than what happened. So receive now the first fruits of healing. Receive it in your thoughts as calm begins to settle. Receive it in your body as tension begins to loosen. Receive it in your emotions as tears become release, not embarrassment. Receive it in your spirit as hope rises without you forcing it. Do not measure this moment by whether you feel everything change at once. Measure it by this: I have begun, and what I begin, I complete. I do not start restorations and abandon them. I do not open a door to healing and leave you in the hallway. I am faithful, I am thorough, I am patient. I am strong enough to finish what love started in you. And now, my beloved, I bless you with a holy steadiness. I bless you with sleep that is not interrupted by fear. I bless you with peace that does not depend on people's moods. I bless you with trust that returns like morning light, slow, sure, undeniable. I bless you with a softened heart that is still wise, a tender spirit that is still protected, a courageous yes that is not pressured. Let my hand remain on you. Let my voice remain in you. Let my presence become the new environment your soul recognizes. So whisper back to me, even if it is quiet, even if it is shaking, even if it is just a breath. Father, I receive your restoration. And I tell you, my child, as you receive, I am sealing this work. I am touching the exact places that ache. I am healing what you thought would always hurt. I am restoring what you thought you lost forever. And you will not leave this moment the way you entered it, because my hand is on your wounds, and my love finishes what it starts. Now, my beloved, do not rise from this moment as if it was only a gentle comfort for a hard day. Do not stand up and call it just a nice message, because I did not meet you here to soothe you temporarily. I met you here to seal you permanently. I, the Lord your God, am placing a holy seal over what I have begun in you, and I am declaring to you with authority and with tenderness. The era of spiritual smallness is over. The era of shrinking to fit what wounded you is over. The era of surviving by disappearing is over. You are not merely holding on anymore. You are not merely making it through anymore. You are rising as the healed you steady, guided, guarded, and loved. And hear me clearly, my child. You do not have to prove this healing by moving fast. You do not have to convince anyone by becoming loud. You do not have to announce your transformation with pressure or performance. Walk slowly. Walk honestly. Walk with your shoulders down and your breath returned. Let your pace be worship. Let your calm be testimony. Let your boundaries be gratitude. Let your rest be evidence that you trust me. Some of you have been trained by chaos to believe that urgency is wisdom, that haste is responsibility, that panic is preparation. But I am teaching you a new rhythm now. Decide from peace. Speak from peace. Respond from peace. And when you feel the old reflex trying to drag you back into over-explaining, over-giving, over-functioning, I want you to pause and remember, you are not guided by fear anymore. You are guided by me. I am sending you forth with a different kind of strength, not the brittle strength that comes from bracing, but the quiet strength that comes from being held. I am sending you forth with discernment that does not accuse everyone, but also does not betray you. I am sending you forth with love that is clean, love that does not chase, love that does not beg, love that does not barter for crumbs. Love deeply, my beloved, but do not love from the wound. Love from wholeness, love from safety. Love from the truth that you are not trying to get people to stay. You are learning to stay with me, and in staying with me, you will stop abandoning yourself. And I am telling you now, so you do not get confused when the world tries to speak over you again. There will be moments when old environments will test the new you. There will be moments when someone expects the version of you that tolerated what I never called you to tolerate. There will be moments when your healing makes others uncomfortable, because your peace will expose their chaos. Your boundaries will confront their entitlement. Your clarity will interrupt their control. But do not be afraid. Do not shrink. Do not apologize for the health I am growing in you. You are not becoming cold. You are becoming whole. You are not becoming distant. You are becoming free. And freedom will feel unfamiliar at first. But unfamiliar does not mean unsafe. I am with you. I am ahead of you. I am behind you. I am around you. You are guided and you are guarded. So when the old thoughts come, when the voice that says, "What if it happens again?" tries to rise, answer it with my truth. Even if I face tomorrow, I will not face it alone. When the old shame tries to whisper, "You should be over this by now," answer it. God is completing what He started in me. When the old abandonment wound tries to reach for control, answer it. I am not abandoned. I am held. I am led. I am led. And when the enemy tries to pull you back into spiritual smallness, back into hiding, back into believing you must earn love, answer him with a holy refusal. That season is over. I am walking as the healed me. Yes, my child, say it with me now, even if it is quiet, even if you are still learning how to believe it without flinching. Say it, I am walking as the healed me, not as the person who is always bracing, not as the person who expects the worst so disappointment will hurt less, not as the person who keeps a wall up and calls it wisdom, but as the person I am restoring present, steady, open in the right places, protected in the right ways, and anchored in my love. This is not pretend. This is not denial. This is alignment. This is you agreeing with what heaven has already spoken over you. And now I commission you, my beloved, to live from wholeness, to wake up and choose one peaceful step at a time, to let your yes be clean and your no be courageous, to receive love without suspicion, and to release what is not yours without guilt, to stop returning to pain for familiarity, to stop confusing intensity with intimacy, to stop calling anxiety your personality. You are mine. You are not an afterthought. You are not too late. You are not disqualified by what you endured. You are proof that I restore. You are proof that I heal. You are proof that I finish what I start. And because this word met you, because something in you recognized my voice, and your spirit said, "This is for me," do not keep it to yourself, as if you were the only one I came to find. There are other hearts, still trapped in survival, still blaming themselves for what wounded them, still believing they are beyond repair. So I am asking you, as an act of love, to share this with someone who needs to meet their healer. Let this be how you extend what I have poured into you. And if you want to continue this journey of wholeness together, stay close, like and subscribe, not as a habit, but as a decision to keep choosing life, keep choosing healing, keep choosing truth, one word at a time, one day at a time. And now, my child, place your prayer requests in the comments, not because I need them to know, but because you are not meant to heal in isolation. Let this community cover you in love. Let them stand with you in faith. And write this declaration where you can see it, where you can return to it when the old season tries to speak again. I am walking as the healed me. I am walking as the healed me. I am walking as the healed me. I bless you as you go. I bless your steps with steadiness. I bless your mind with quiet. I bless your heart with safe openness. I bless your body with rest. I bless your boundaries with strength. I bless your relationships with wisdom. And I seal this word over you. You are not leaving this moment merely encouraged, you are leaving commissioned. Walk forth now, my beloved, as the healed you, and let your life become the evidence that my love restores what the world tried to break.